Right, guys, as promised, this is the second installment of recordings for today, which is the 29th of December, and it is currently 2:37. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Now, I literally just looked at my phone, and about an hour ago, there was a notification sitting there that Anthony Joshua, he hasn't been killed, don't worry, but he has been involved in a car crash and suffering minor injuries in Nigeria. So I assumed that he was over there recuperating after his boxing match with Jake Paul that happened last week or something, and it looks like he has been injured in a crash on the Ogun-Lagos State Expressway where two others were killed. He suffered minor injuries, and according to local media, he was in the back of a vehicle when it collided with a stationary truck, which is quite a shame, and he's probably fine. He's a big lad. So, but he has suffered some minor injuries, and we hope that he's okay. But I'm glad that the notification came up because I didn't really watch the fight last week. I watched the Sky Sports highlights afterwards, but it kind of just prompted the question, why would someone like Anthony Joshua fight Jake Paul? I mean, Anthony Joshua is a heavyweight boxer. I mean, that is what he does. And whereas Jake Paul is, I don't think he's a boxer. I wouldn't say that he's a boxer. I think he's, it's hard to describe what he is. He's kind of like KSI. Is he a boxer? I don't know. He's kind of turned into a boxer. He trains, but would you call him an actual thoroughbred boxer like Anthony Joshua? I'm not sure. But anyways, I just wondered why he would fight him. I think anyone with a bit of self-respect would kind of bash off Jake Paul and just kind of swipe him off, not really respond to the comments and just go about his day, really. But I've looked into this a bit, and to see why Anthony Joshua would have said yes, and for the most part it's literally just money. And I don't blame him. I'm not judging. I'm not somebody who's interested in boxing like a lot of people. I kind of just keep up with things, and I'm just a regular guy providing some commentary. But after his fight with Dubois, which was a pretty good fight, he got knocked out, unfortunately, on September 21st, 2024. He was just looking to raise his funds, to be honest. Even Eddie Hearn said, we just couldn't turn it down. Anyone who said they are completely lying through their teeth. So it will give AJ a huge profile in America and one of his career high paydays. And that begs the question, how much did he actually get paid? Looking through online, there's quite a few different numbers being thrown around, but apparently together, Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua made about $93 million, which is obviously quite a lot of money, and they ended up splitting the total they earned. So that's about $47 million each. But it looks like because he's fighting from America, Anthony Joshua actually faces a huge tax bill, which is so peak. I think tax is an incredible amount of government revenue that they get. It just takes away from everybody. But anyways, how much did he actually make against Jake Paul? It looks like he leaves with about 38 million. So originally he probably had about 60 something million, and then with the tax he would have had 32 million deducted because of the tax obligations in both the US and the UK. But anyways, in terms of Jake Paul, I don't really like him. There's loads of videos online about how he's rigged his boxing matches with where he kind of throws a signal to the other guy and then he goes tumbling down, or even Jake Paul goes tumbling down. I don't know. I don't know if it's true either. I don't really care, but it kind of just ruins the sport, makes it into some kind of a performance than a real match where these guys are training. I mean, I don't get me wrong, these guys do train and they train hard, but it's not like they make it their entire life. It's kind of it's more for the showmanship than anything else. But apparently this AJ Jake Paul fight was kind of a run up for AJ into a fight against Tyson Fury. And this is the one where I've spoken to my friends who know a lot more about boxing than I do. And this is the fight where everybody wants to see. The two biggest heavyweights, probably, I don't know, they're not the most successful because I know that Usyk is. But these guys, this is the one that they want. This is the one that we want. And hopefully it happens. I don't particularly think it will. Tyson Fury is quite old now. I don't really think it will happen. But if it did, it would definitely be one of the biggest boxing matches of this century, I think, of this side of the 2000s, which would definitely be quite the spectacle and a lot of money involved. Netflix will probably get involved. I don't know who else would get involved, but still, it's a pretty cool thing. I'm going to wrap this up now because, truthfully, I'm talking about things that I don't really understand. I only watch boxing from a spectator's point of view, not really from somebody who gets the sport or really understands the money or the decisions behind it. But that's what I have to say about this. So to my 0 followers and 0 subscribers, I will see you later. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to hit a running workout with some core and some biceps. And you might be thinking that's a really weird combination. However, those are all kind of my weak points. So it is my weak points day. I'm going to go get after it. See you later.